Morning to all of you, and thank you for joining us at this Mayor's Thursday briefing. Well, this past week, we wrapped up the budget process, and I want to thank everyone, including our City of Wichita staff, the finance department, the leadership here, as well as the 6 council members who all worked really hard alongside community members who gave us feedback and engaged in the entire budget process and helped us shape next year's 2025 budget. But we have some amazing news that we wanted to share, and that is something that's happening this weekend. And if you've been watching the skies today, you probably have seen some of the action already. So in May, we had the pleasure of hosting McConnell Air Force Base to preview the air show. Now the time has come, and the Frontiers in Flight Air Show is this Saturday and Sunday right here in the Air Capital. I understand that the Blue Angels arrived on base just a little while ago, and again, I think you heard them. I would like to now invite up John Van Winkle, Chief of Public Affairs for McConnell Air Force Base, to tell us more.
Hi, good afternoon. So, skies over Wichita are going to get a little noisier the next couple of days with the arrival of a number of military aircraft, including the Blue Angels earlier today, as part of the Frontiers in Flight Air Show. The air show is going to run Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5, and the basic outline for the air show is going to be 11:30. The Budweiser Clydesdales make an appearance before the crowd. 12 o'clock, flying activity starts. 3 o'clock, the Blue Angels go up. So that's the baseline information about that. It's our opportunity to give back a little more to the community and host people out and let our neighbors see what we do, get a close-up look at our aircraft, talk to our airmen, and learn more about what the base is and does, as well as the other military aircraft we have from the various services coming here, and a number of historic civilian aircraft coming here, including Doc, an A-26 Invader, a PT-19 Stearman from back in the day, quite a range of aircraft. But we've been working on this for the past 2 years and looking at all the ranges of possibilities. And one thing we learned in aviation is that weather is always going to have a vote in what activities you plan when it comes to both flying and ground events. So lo and behold, the weather is going to be quite intense this weekend with some highs in the 90s and maybe higher. So heat mitigation is something we've been looking at quite a lot on that. I'm going to shift a little bit over here. So here's a map of the activities for the air show with a number of stations marked. A couple of lessons we learned from last air show are applied here. First of those is that we're going to be allowing water containers to be brought in by the people who are attending the air show. Plastic water containers, and you'll be able to refill those at a number of water stations that we have available on the flight line. Those are also marked on the map this time and have some larger and more overt markings there to be able to see them and find them much easier. In addition to that, the Army Reserve's 451st Expeditionary Sustainment Command is going to be giving us some assistance. They're based out of Wichita and based out in McConnell, actually. And they're going to be doing cooling tents and setting those up today and tomorrow, which will help mitigate temperatures for some folks if they're getting a little too much on the heat. We've also got medical stations, first aid stations, and we'll have medics roaming throughout the crowd during the day. So that's the baseline on that. A lot of these activities, though, don't happen in a vacuum. We're getting a lot of help and coordination from the City of Wichita on our emergency management, first responders, law enforcement, medical, community, etc. The Dole VA Center will have some people out there. American Red Cross will have people out there, and a number of other agencies. We're trying to make this the best and biggest event for Wichita, and hopefully we'll have a good, safe event and some great flying activity for you this weekend. Mayor, thank you.
Again, it is one of the best shows in town, and the best part about the show, it's free. And so we really highly encourage our entire community, Wichitans outside of Wichita, visitors to come to Wichita and to McConnell Air Force Base this weekend for this free air show, a gift from McConnell Air Force Base, in which we are very grateful for. So again, more information is on their website, and I know that our media partners have been sharing that with the community again, so that you can all come on base and safely enjoy this family time. We love our military neighbors here in Wichita, and one of the ways that we support the military is supporting our veterans. As we continue to work towards functional zero homelessness for area veterans, the Robert J. Dole VA Medical Center, who is a key partner in this endeavor, is hosting a homeless stand down event on September 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Here to tell us more is the VA Homeless Program Supervisor, Kenny Baker.
Hi, thank you so much, and good morning, everyone. I am the Homeless Program Supervisor. My name is Kenny Barker. We have an opportunity here to share with you this morning more about what a veteran homeless stand-down is. And so if I can briefly just kind of talk about the stand-down itself and the event and what it actually provides. We have essential services and support for homeless veterans in our community. These events offer a safe space for where veterans can access medical care, housing assistance, employment resources, legal aid, and other vital services to help them regain stability and then transition out of homelessness. So the goal really is to provide immediate relief while connecting veterans to long-term housing support services. So what's interesting about this event is that in recent years, we've been able to expand the reach of not just assisting homeless veterans, but assisting and providing those services to include individuals and families that are homeless in our entire community. This expansion wouldn't have been possible without the vital partnership with the City of Wichita. With those who support this event, the City of Wichita has been able to open up their parks and provide some support. It all started back in 2019. Together we've strengthened the impact of our stand-out events and ensuring that no one in our community is left behind in their time of need. So as Mayor Wu said, we have the event that starts September the 20th, that Friday. It runs from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it's at Hyde Park. It's a great way for the City of Wichita to highlight one of their amazing parks and utilize the park services to provide wonderful immediate care and services to the vulnerable population in our community. Before I close, it would be remiss if I couldn't share a brief story about how this event really does impact those in our community. I really want to share the impact of a veteran that specifically came through back in 2019. He came through our stand-down event. He's a Desert Storm veteran who served in the Army, and when he came to that event, he'll tell you that he came looking for just a warm meal and a place to lay his head down in the shade. So it was a hot day. Many times early September it can be really toasty here in Wichita and in Kansas. So, but when he came, he got much more than just a meal and some shade. When he was there, he had been homeless for well over a year due to loss of employment and other medical complications, which then led him to not be able to get back into the workforce at that time. This veteran, he'll tell you as well that he's not one to ask for help, but at that event, he didn't have to ask for help. That help was given to him freely, and just because he served our country. When he came to that event that day, he was able to go through and access services through our top-notch VA medical primary care team. Then on top of that, there are multiple community partners throughout our community that were there at the event that helped him get connected to vital services. And then additionally, we had our wonderful, exceptional VA homeless provider team. Those service providers work and are dedicated to the mission of getting veterans out of homelessness and into a pathway of housing. I'm very fortunate to get to work with a wonderful team that does a great job each and every day. And in this case, they housed this veteran within weeks. And I'm happy to say, has been housed for well over 5 years now. So it's a great effort, and without this event and the support from our community and the support from the City of Wichita, we couldn't have this event. So very, very pleased to have it be put on. If you are interested in volunteering, please check out the City of Wichita's webpage. We've also got some links for other opportunities to volunteer throughout our community that will be sent out. But again, thank you for your time, and look forward to a successful event. Thank you.
And thank you for sharing that story. I think we often need to be reminded that we're helping one another as neighbors. And thank you so very much for all the efforts that the VA hospital has been creating in opportunities to help our veterans get into housing and be able to have these opportunities for others who are also facing homelessness too. Now we would like to talk about supporting our heroes. The Red Cross does so much to help our police and fire departments in so many ways, and they also help individuals here in our community. But they need some help too. They are in desperate need of blood donations. To tell us more is Shannon Wedge from the Red Cross.
Many times when we think about the Red Cross, we think about disaster and blood services. So with all this talk about the military and all that's going on, I do want to mention that, as many of you know, the American Red Cross was born on the battlefield with Clara Barton in 1881, and we were congressionally chartered in 1904 to provide emergency communications to our military. So we do support our military, so go to redcross.org to find out more about that. So each day, the American Red Cross needs to collect about 12,500 blood donations and nearly 3,000 platelet donations to meet the needs of patients at about 2,500 hospitals and other facilities across the country. In Kansas, that equates to almost 100,000 donations at over 3,500 blood drives across the state each year. And since the launch of our emergency blood shortage appeal on August 5th, everyone has stepped up to ensure that we can meet our hospital's needs. We are on track to meet goal this month and to provide that life-saving blood to patients. So make your life-saving appointment and keep that appointment to ensure our country, our state, and of course our county have a stable blood supply. And with school starting back up, we have many drives. You can go to our blood donor app, you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or go to redcrossblood.org to find that drive near you. This will ensure that we can make sure that our shelves are stocked for all of our hospitals. And all who come to give blood, platelets, or plasma this entire month will receive a $20 Amazon.com gift card by email. There's also a really cool t-shirt too. So come in, we have a blood donation center right down the road at 707 North Main. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shannon. The City of Wichita's Division of Arts and Cultural Services will open applications for Arts Thrive. That's a new funding program made possible through a $75,000 grant from the National Endowment for the Arts tomorrow, August 23rd. Here to tell us more is Lindsay Banaka, Director of Cultural Arts and Services.
All right, thank you, Mayor Wu. The Division of Arts and Cultural Services is really excited to launch and announce this new funding opportunity, and we're really thankful from the National Endowment of the Arts for the funding itself. As directed by the city's Cultural Funding Committee, we are thrilled to launch the Arts Thrive Grants, this new category that is specific to funding arts projects that serve Wichita residents. Historically, we've only offered operational grants for nonprofit organizations and individual professional development grants for local artists. So we're really thrilled to further activate and strengthen the creative potential of our community with this new grant program for special projects. The Arts Thrive grants were developed to align with our new Cultural Arts Strategic Plan that was adopted this past May, where our vision statement is that Wichita will be recognized as a community where artistic expression is an integral part of the city's success, where arts thrive, hence the name of the grant, and where cultural heritage is preserved and celebrated. Through the Arts Thrive program, the city will be awarding 3 $25,000 grants for special projects or programs that will take place in 2025 in the community. Possible projects could include, but are not limited to, public art, exhibitions, special events, performances, concerts, or artistic presentations, or really anything that could fit under the theme. Also, as part of our new Cultural Arts Strategic Plan to better reach those who have been historically underserved and culturally diverse, the Cultural Funding Committee itself will be giving special consideration to projects that are women-led, LGBTQ+-led, BIPOC-Alana-led, or projects that will serve those same communities. Eligible applicants include individual artists, artist groups or cohorts, and arts and culture nonprofits. Business entities are eligible to apply so long as they have a partnership with a nonprofit or individual artist. Full grant guidelines, requirements, and the application itself can be found at wichita.submittable.com. The applications do open tomorrow, August 23rd, and submissions will be due on October 1st. Because this is a new program, we have a lot of information to get out about it. We have 2 information sessions for the grant on September 4th, and then again on September 11th. Both days we will have a 1 p.m. virtual session and a 6 p.m. in-person session at City Arts in Old Town Square. So prospective applicants can meet with staff to talk about the program itself and how their projects may or may not align with this fund. The Cultural Funding Committee will review applications this fall, and we aim to announce the grant award recipients on December 3rd for projects happening next calendar year. To learn more about Arts Thrive grants, please visit wichita.gov/arts, and to see the application directly, visit wichita.submittable.com. For questions regarding the grants, you can contact us at arts@wichita.gov, or our Cultural Arts Administrator's phone number is 316-350-3241. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that opportunity, Lindsay. Another thing that makes our community's cultural richness are the quality of life amenities for those of us to visit and to enjoy, which is why the library is here to announce an exciting new opportunity to check out experience passes with the library card. Sean Jones is here to tell us more.
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier this summer, the Wichita Public Library launched Experience Passes. Partnering with area museums and attractions, customers can borrow these experience passes from the library for 7 days to go and explore a local attraction at no cost. These passes they break down financial barriers for residents who might not be able to otherwise experience these attractions and gives families an opportunity to explore Wichita together. The experience passes give residents access to the attractions. There may be additional fees for special exhibits, and passes also do not cover the cost of concessions or gift shop purchases. Participating museums and attractions include Botanica, the Cosmosphere in Hutchinson, Exploration Place, the Great Plains Transportation Museum, the Mid-America All-Indian Museum, Museum of World Treasures, Old Cowtown Museum, the Sedgwick County Zoo, Tanganyika, Wichita Art Museum, the Wichita Sedgwick County Historical Museum, and just this week we launched the Wichita Toy Train Museum. More information about experience passes, along with other materials included in our Library of Things collection, can be found at wichitalibrary.org/things.
Thank you very much, Sean. And again, we don't want to have a barrier of being, finances being a barrier for anyone in the community to be able to enjoy the assets that we have, like museums and attractions in our community. So please check out that experience pass through the Wichita Public Libraries. And now I'd like to welcome up Gary Jansen, Director of Public Works and Utilities, to give us an update on the drought.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning. With water restrictions having been in place since August 5th, we've been asked just about every day since August 6th if we have numbers to provide. While we were not planning on providing that data until the end of the first 30 days, oh yes, sorry, I already forgot that, Megan, even after you showed me. While we were not planning to provide that data until after the first 30 days, which I think is prudent, it makes sense, gives us a better representation of what's happening over a longer period of time. We did have staff collect some information that we want to share today, but we do want to urge caution. This has only been since August 5th, so we're just over 2.5 weeks in, and we've had multiple rain showers in that time, including this morning. We do not want people to back off on water restrictions, nor will we do that. While this shows some reduced usage, many factors could impact these numbers, and we don't want residents to feel like they can change their habits and practices now. This really needs to be something at the start of long-term changes to what we're all doing to practice conservation into the future. Initial numbers look promising. Our pumping volumes from Hess Pump Station, which means all the treated water that we send to all 500,000 customers, that's the residents of Wichita and 11 wholesale customers, are as follows. We established a base week of July 22nd to July 28th. That's 2 weeks prior to implementing water restrictions. The reason why we did that is because, as you can imagine, the week right prior to August 5th, we saw a pretty sizable increase in water usage. Needless to say, people knew what was coming. So using that base week, our pumping volume was 476.1 million gallons. Week 1 of water restrictions, August 5th through 11th, was 409.2 million gallons, or a reduction of 16%. Last week, week 2 of water restrictions, August 12th through August 19th, we had a pumping volume of 356.2 million gallons, which is a reduction of 34% from the base week. I'll tell you what you see on this chart real quick, and the biggest dips there over the weekends, because the way our water restrictions are set up is watering is Monday through Thursday only. There's one specific day for each of 4 quadrants. There is no watering Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you can see the impact that has had, where that biggest dip is, and then it came back down again, where there should be effectively no outdoor watering on the weekends. This is a great start. We've got a long way to go. We've also been getting many questions about warnings or fines. Ideally, we won't have to levy a single fine. We do not want this to be punitive. What is more important is coming together collaboratively to safeguard our public water supply for the long term, and that's a message that we're going to continue to make sure everybody hears. We've talked about that from the beginning. We really want to focus on education over enforcement. That being said, after getting calls from residents and doing some investigations, we have issued 165 warnings, but no fines to this point. I want to reiterate again that this is about education over enforcement, and we want people to really find ways to do their part to continue to conserve and cut back on water use while we're in this drought and even into the future. Our goal is to change our habits, to change everyone's habits as we move on, hopefully at some point past this drought, and not go back to where we were. Also, one question we get asked is why we don't dredge Cheney Reservoir while it's low to capture more water. Good watershed protection over many years, practices over many years have limited sedimentation into the reservoir. We're in a really good place compared to many of the federal reservoirs across the state from a sedimentation standpoint. However, we thought we would take a look just at one scenario on what that might look like. Cheney Reservoir is a 2,300-acre lake. If we were to dredge that size of a lake out 3 feet, another 3 feet deep, we would capture an additional 1.4 months of water use at a cost of $110 million. So we do not feel like that is a good return on investment, not something that we would be looking at because of the programs that have been in place for watershed protection and limited sedimentation. The reservoir is really in good shape. I think we've talked about this before, and what I might end with is we've been challenged with precipitation in the watershed and the basin. Cheney Reservoir has a 600,000 acre basin that feeds it. Since 2022, we were more than 23 to 24 inches below normal precipitation within the basin. We have estimated if we get back to normal precipitation, it will take 3 years to fill it back to the conservation pool. That is why it is so important that we have got to keep moving forward on where we're going. This is a great start. The numbers look good, but we've got to stay the course. We've got to continue conservation, and hopefully we'll keep seeing these numbers as we go forward. With that, I'll pass it back to the mayor.
Thank you, Gary. And again, thank you to everyone who has been helping with the water conservation here in our community. And again, we're all going to do this together and have been, as you can see, some of these numbers. If you've ever wondered where our water comes from or how it gets to your faucet or any other information on how the city works and how you can get involved with your community, we urge you to please sign up for the Civic Engagement Academy. As an alum of the program, I am really grateful to staff members like Corey and Becca who keep on leading the CEA program. And it is a great way to understand how the city of Wichita works and how you can get engaged as a community member. Here to tell us more about CEA is Corey.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Corey Bukta, Communications Specialist for the city, and if you've ever wondered or wanted to be more involved in the community and weren't sure where to start, Civic Engagement Academy is for you. CEA is one part City of Wichita 101 and one part leadership training. Our goal is to help make participants better informed about what the city does while equipping them to help them make their community a better place. CEA is completely free. We meet 8 consecutive Monday evenings beginning September 16th. We meet at City Hall from 5:45 to 8:30 p.m. If you're interested and want to learn more or apply for the program, go to wichita.gov. You'll see the link to the CEA page under the government heading. The class size is limited, so if you're interested, get your applications in soon. Thanks.
Thank you again, Corey, for letting us know more information about the Civic Engagement Academy. We also have a Citizens Police Academy and a Citizens Fire Academy. All of these are great opportunities to get to know how the city of Wichita works, how the police department works, and how the fire department works. So great opportunities for community members to learn more and get engaged. These are all the prepared remarks, and as you know, every Thursday I like to share some good news that's happening in our community. Not only are we having the air show this weekend, but I just came from another grand opening this morning. Another business in our community has decided to invest and create jobs here in Wichita, and I think that that's always something good to celebrate. And so I'm excited that Chase Bank at 21st and Rock Road just opened up their doors. Later on this afternoon, I'll go to another ribbon cutting, and that is for the renovations and expansion of the hotel at Old Town and their Air Capital wing. As you know, this week was the National Aviation Day, which we celebrate our aviation history, not just here in Wichita, but throughout the nation. And so we need to celebrate the good things that are happening in our community while still working on the challenges that are here in the city of Wichita. So at this time, we will open it up for any questions. I see none, so I'm grateful that you all came to the Thursday Mayor's Briefing, and I hope you all will get out to McConnell Air Force Base and drink lots of water as you go out. Take care.